Hey guys, it's Kate Journey, and I am back today to show you guys kind of my setup for my goal tracking. I do have a full planner that is showing up. It is actually a large size Happy Planner monthly layout, but it is still in transit because I didn't know that I needed it, so I ordered it late, but I got it on sale, so it balances itself out. So if you saw my previous goal planner video, you'll see this guy, and I started to kind of set up like a monthly section in here, and I got this far and was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this every month. I hate numbering things. I hate my handwriting. I don't want to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to peel this sticker off likely, or maybe leave it. I don't know. I'm going to throw some washi over this, and then I'm going to take these pages and turn them into journaling pages. And I'll just do that for every month that I've got set up, is just have like a journaling kind of review section. But instead of trying to keep track of my goals in there, I am using a Happy Planner monthly. So I do have the full planner of this, but these pages, this setup, I actually reserve for setting up writing projects. This is like a really versatile way of setting up writing projects, and I will link that video in the cards at the end. I will try. I'm learning how to do that. If not, I'll link it in the description of the video of me turning these pages into like a writing project kind of dashboard. But for now, what I'm using this for, and then when I get my other planner, I'll likely just toss these pages into it and save the January in there set up for next year, because I'm not going to be using any of the calendar in it whatsoever. What I'm using are these two pages, and then I already started using this yesterday actually. So what it is I'm keeping track of all the things that I have accomplished for the day. So this is not what I want to accomplish. That goes in my other planners. This is what did I get done towards my goals this day. And it's because I never give myself credit, ever, for all the things that I accomplish. I'm doing reviews right now, or kind of trying to do reviews, and the questions are like, what did you accomplish this year? And I'm like, wow, I don't even know. Like, I know that I launched my second book, and I revamped my first book, but was that this year or last year? Like, I didn't write anything down. I know that I wrote an entire book in 2020, two entire books in 2024, and one of them I scrapped. So 2024 was a weird flux year, and I learned a lot, but I have no record of what I did and all of the work that I did. I know I worked really hard, especially working with a toddler at home, but I have no idea what I accomplished because I didn't really write it down. So this year I am writing everything down. I want to make sure that I am doing monthly reviews and keeping up with what I can get done, so that I have a reasonable expectation for how the next 5 or 10 years are going to go. Reasonable. I can't, I can't figure out the future, but I can give myself guidelines that actually work. But I can't do guidelines that actually work if I don't know what's working and what's not. So anyway, that's what this is for. And when the new planner gets here, it's going to be the bigger size, the 8.5 by 11. But it'll be fine. I'll just pop this into the front and we'll call it good. Anyway, I'm going to get to setting up these pages and jump into the voiceover. Okay, so I started this kind of knowing exactly what color scheme I wanted to go with, and also kind of already knowing where I wanted to put washi. I had planned on using more colors, but I ended up just going with the two blue kind of hollow washis here, which I'm really, really happy with. They go really well with the labels that I printed for myself. And the labels I just made in Google Sheets and cut them out. Like, it's nothing fancy. It's just I needed labels and I needed them fast. And luckily, because I've done this before with the writing projects one, I knew exactly where and how I wanted my washi to lay so that it covered up the guidelines that Happy Planner pre-prints in here. Because I don't want the guidelines, I want the different sections. But here I fiddle around with trying to fix this one before I figure it out. And I'm just like, you know what, I'm just going to cut it. And at first I thought I would kind of peel it up against the blade, and then the blade wouldn't rest on it. And I was like, I'm not dealing I'm not dealing with this. So I ended up just cutting it, and it worked, and it was fine. I love this blue washi. I think I got it a couple of years ago at Michael's. I don't know if they still have it, but it is very pretty, and it totally works for this. And I'm just going to be doing this to the headers for each section. I want to make sure that I've got it completely customized to exactly what I want. So like, for instance, this top section up here is going to be YouTube stats. So I'm going to write down, like, you know, where I started in January, at the very end of January, you know, my new subscribers, the videos that I posted that got the most views, you know, my kind of watch hours, those kind of stats that I need to know that my videos are being successful, or successful for me at the moment, which frankly right now is like surpassing my wildest dreams. It's crazy. I'm very, very happy with my growth right now. I'm really hoping that by the end of this year I will be monetized, which is awesome. That's the goal. And then the section below this, I actually plan on having be for marking off when I've posted YouTube videos. So I know that every Wednesday I'm going to be having some sort of a planner video. I've already got them all figured out. I'm very excited about them. But then on Saturdays, I plan on posting vlogs, but only if the vlogging works out for me. I'm not going to super stress myself out. My biggest goals for this year have to do with writing, and I'm going to be vlogging my writing. But if I'm too busy writing, or if, you know, life happens, which is basically what happened in all of December, where everybody was sick and it was just too much to be vlogging, I'm not going to beat myself up if I don't accomplish that. So this is just a list of the videos that I plan on posting and whether or not I actually posted them. And it actually fits perfectly. There are potentially 5 Wednesdays and 5 Saturdays in every month, which means that there needs to be 10 spaces, and there are exactly 10 checklist spaces here. So that actually works out way better than I was expecting it to. I was hoping that would work out, and then I did the math and I was like, yay, it works. And one of the things that I love the most about this layout is that I can do things like this. And if it doesn't work, the next month I can, you know, kind of change it up and say, okay, I'll have my video list in the top section of the other area, and I'll have this be like checklists for my writing or something like that. So that really works out in my favor. And here I'm using that skinny washi because I haven't really, at this point in the video, I hadn't really figured out whether or not I was going to continue with the plan that I end up going with there. I'm very happy that I use a skinny washi because it lets me have more space to write down the things that I need to write down. But even as I'm cutting this, I'm like, what was I going to put there? I cannot remember what I was going to put there, even though I've got it literally on that sheet of labels right next to me. So funny, so ridiculous. I kind of, this is why I write everything down and why I plan everything, because I forget things as I'm doing them. I don't know about you guys, but if you ever walk into a room and forget what you walked into the room for, that happens to me at least 3 times a day. Or I'll be in the middle of a conversation and forget what I was saying while I was saying it. It's like the most ridiculous thing ever. Oh, here's another reason why I wanted to use this layout. So I wanted habit trackers, and I don't like drawing out habit trackers. I don't like weekly habit trackers. I don't feel like they give me enough information. I tend to ignore them and just completely like, you don't matter. So what I want to do is I want to create a system where it becomes a routine where I check in with this every day. At the end of the day, I check in with my tracker, say what I did, what I didn't, mark off the things that are done. And then I go in the back and in those, checklist sections and write down exactly what I accomplished. And, every day just have it be, this is what I got done today. Even if what I got done today was I rested, which is valid. And I need to remember that I need to take time to rest. So another thing that I love about this layout is this top section up here. When I am doing like a writing project, I will actually reserve this for things like the synopsis. Oh, I'm jumping back into over here. Oh, this is when I figured out which label I had planned on putting there. I told you I completely forgot while I was doing it, but I did eventually remember. And then getting these centered on there, I didn't measure it out before I printed anything. So, I'm just kind of winging it. And normally I would just put it on the side, but I really liked them being in the center. Anyway, so this big dot grid area up here, I could do anything I wanted to in it, which is great. I could create like, a chart, a habit tracker, I could create lists. It's a big old open dot grid area, which I absolutely love, which makes this page totally invaluable. And for this right here, I am actually planning on doing kind of a short review of like what worked, what didn't, what do I want to bring forward, just based on this planner alone. Not my goals. My goal review is going to be done in that Erin Condren kind of Grogu Franken planner that I have. My emotional review, my review of how things are going, how my goals are going will be housed in there. What's going here is what's working with this system that I've got right now. So what's working with these pages, what's working with my other planners. This is literally all just a review of my planning system itself. None of my goals. And I need to remember to write that down for myself, because I see review there and I will go in and I will probably review emotionally, and I shouldn't do that because it's not my plan. In fact, I might even print out other labels to go on here for like, what's working in my planners, what's not working in my planners, what do I want to move forward, that kind of a thing. But for now, I'm just labeling it review, and I'm going to move on with my life because, frankly, I've invested so much time into setting up these planners, and I love that I've done that because I feel like jumping into 2025 is going to be super easy because I've done all of this prep work. However, I'm also very, very aware that I don't want to take more than like a couple of hours every month to reset my planners and to move into the next month, the next round. So I'm trying to set things up in a way to where all of the bulk of the work is done right now before the year starts. And in December of 2025, I'm going to make sure that I plan on having to take this time to bulk set up for 2026. So that's one lesson I already learned this year. I thought I was going to get a lot more writing done in December, and I thought I was going to get some time off with my kids. And frankly, I have not had that much time off, but I am starting to have some fun with my kids. We are all starting to get a little better. So hopefully in the next couple of days and before they start school again, we'll get to have some more fun. But for right now, I just want to get these things finished and out of the way so that hopefully, I think maybe tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, I am going to sit down and I am going to play some Mario Party with my kids for several hours, and it's going to be great. That is my life goal for the very beginning of this year. Actually, I think it's going to be like January 3rd or something. January 3rd, because January 2nd, one kid's got a doctor's appointment. So Friday the 3rd, I want to just spend the entire day playing video games with my kids. Okay, so these top priority sections, this is about my writing. So because this is all about my goals, the first page was about my goals about myself and my goals about YouTube. And then down here, because I've got my writing notebook, I don't feel like I need to get, excuse me, like I need to get that granular over here. So I'm just putting in like major deadlines and, major things that I want done. And I'm also adding in that part at the bottom, the launch prep part, in my good plan, that's not even happening in January. In my better plan, it is happening in January. And in my best plan, it is happening in January. So I threw it in on the off chance that I do get it done before the end of the month, or even just start it by the end of the month. But I'm not going to bully myself about whether or not I have it done. I'm hoping, but I'm not pushing it. And then the list section right next to it will be like all of the smaller steps that need to be part of these bigger things. But again, I go really granular in my writing notebook, so I am not doing that here because I don't need to write it 50 bazillion times. So anyway, these are the pages together. I am very, very happy with how this ends up. I'm super excited to get started in using this. In fact, I'm already using it. I have not filled out for today. And I know that there's a list for every single day of the month. So I will be jumping into these last pages in order to get, to the end of January, because I started here in December, and that's fine. I'm not worried about it. It's going to be okay. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will post that other video, hopefully here. And if not, thanks for your patience.